稍微调整了一下。
OK， 你那个叫什么？你现在录个屏，我现在也录屏。
哦，刚开始录了，
录了是吧？行，等一下，我 start recording。Okay, here we go. Okay. So Levi, are you going to like sketching something, or you can?
Oh, I didn't think it was like a share screen thing, so I'm just sitting here in the bedroom with the phone.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, it's all about so you can sketch in something. Cause last time you mentioned about this, but it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty open to like questions and whatnot.
Sure. You know what?
Career tips, workshop stuff.
Yeah. So we basically have two main topic to talk about. So one is the big picture about the movie around the world, right?
Oh, okay.
And another one is I know lots of artists in China, they want to get into this industry, and we can give them, lots of tips how to, transfer from the regular concept artist and what kind of ability you can earn to get into this industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and I can do some translation from Jian to you, and he can offer some questions, and we can go from there. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's completely fine.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta speak a little bit Chinese to introduce this talk show. So when I come in, it's like some quick intro something. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. 苏大，我们开始啦。
好 ，OK。
OK。聊东聊西聊 CG， 我是6，欢迎大家来到我们第2期的一类 chat。本期呢，我们邀请到的2位嘉宾都是电影界的人士。第一个嘉宾呢是来自海外Motion Picture MPC 这个很牛逼的电影公司的一位首席的 Lead Map Painter。Map Painter 可以翻译成是数字绘景师。他也是做一些很多 concept artist 需要做的一些工作。另一位呢是我们国内的资深影视类概念设计师苏建苏老师，欢迎苏老师。Welcome, Levi.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I just let people know, like, we have like 2 big guys for movie today, and it's our second show. The first time we run is for aiming some AAA games, talk a little bit about the movie. So this time we just want to aim it from the movie production.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. 节目一开始呢，我想跟大家简单的介绍一下MPC 这个公司。就是上期我们提到MPC 它算是除了 ILM 工业光魔还有那个新西兰的 WeiBo 之外的第3大的一个影视类后期公司。我知道国内大概的情况都是前期，所以说很多国外的后期公司它做的一些项目是特别的出名，有很多的电影大家基本上在影院看到的基本上都是出自这3大公司，他们都 cover 一部分嘛。建哥，听说你在国内，上次我们第一次聊，之前没有太多的接触。上次你说你在国内是做一些很前期类的影视类公司的工作。
对，我目前待这个公司主要是比较杂，它首先它是有这个艺人经济，然后也有影视制作这一块，然后我们做的是相对比较前期的，就是说在一个项目一个 IP 刚开始开发的时候，然后我们就没有剧本的时候，我们就要先介入然后先把一些这个故事观的一个构架，然后做一些角色，然后场景的一些概念，然后一些气氛图然后对，第一时间要跟这个编剧导演可能是提供一些资源吧，就是说
就相当于他们给到脚本的时候，然后你把脚本一些内容去图像化，让客户更好的去了解这个产品，对吧？
对
，OK，
就是 PPT 阶段
，PPT 阶段 ，OK。So Levi,
Yep.
You know what kind of work Jian do for China? In China, there's some companies like do very early concept for the movies. For example, you got a script and a story, and it's not really enough to show that kind of ideas to some producers. So you need a lot of concept artists to translate that kind of text into image, so that people can better understand it. I'm not pretty sure MPC have that kind of department for the very early stage.
So MPC does have an art department. They're based in LA. It used to be based in London a couple of years ago.
Okay.
They're there for pitching artwork, which is doing artwork for getting movies to the studio. They're also there to help the post-production stages of the movie development. So anything specific.
Yeah.
Like what you mentioned with the script and interpretation, this is the very early pre-production and pitching stages that our department does. And in the hopes of winning shows to the studio.
Yeah. So you mentioned that the very, very early stage was basically from the LA and London before, right?
Yeah. So even earlier, before the post-production kicks off, there's also the pre-production stages that happens with the directors and the film studios.
Okay.
And then the script comes later to, let's say, NPC or a mill or frame store to start breaking down different stages or start to kind of work with the material. But there's already a bulk of stuff already figured out conceptually.
Okay.
Before it comes to MPC.
Before they move to MPC.
Yes.
So basically, you say the MPC is, don't have very much opportunity to touch the very early pre-production. So we just focus on the post-production work, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of times when you have the shows, there are concept arts already figured out for some of the visual challenges, some of the visual designs. In MPC, definitely post-production use these. Some of it is pre-production as well, so MPC art department, but also earlier than that.
I heard from friends there's only one department in MPC, like in the LA. There's only one department like doing concept. It's not all the studios, right? Especially in Canada.
At the moment, there's one art department in LA. Yeah.
OK， 他刚才问 Levi， 他说在加拿大这边就是工业光膜那边肯定会做一些前期的工作，但是 MPC 这边主要是在美国 LA 那边是出一些很多前期的东西，然后之前有伦敦，但是现在可能就是集中在美国吧，因为那边可能制片人比较多。加拿大这边可能就负责多数的一些就是特效呀，一些后期合成的部分，很少接触一些像咱国内一些很特别前期的，你就可以去接触客户去商谈一些就是分镜之类的东西。我觉得这还是国内外来说电影还是比较大的一个区别吧。
其实这个我们这一块在国内也不多，其实。通常都是，一部分是在这个一部分工作是在这个建组之前，我们在建组之前的时候，然后这个都是以公司的这种形式去运行然后正是这个其他的这个像特效公司啊，包括这个开始建组之后，美术组干的事儿可能就是已经有这个剧本存在的一个状态下，然后。根据这个剧本去来那个工作。其实我挺感兴趣的，就是想让这个Levi介绍一下，就是在他们的那个 工作领域里面，就是他们的一个特效公司的一个设计流程啊，是不是可以介绍一下
Okay, so Levi, yeah, we are very curious about the working process when you design something at the company.
Yeah.
So what is the very first stage you think about, and what's the first like your connection, like which guy is you have to sign up with at the very early stage when you're in terms of some concept stuff?
I think one of the most important things for concept art is the information.
Okay.
You're basing all your research, all your planning, all your scheduling or management if you're a lead or art director based on this information coming in and the interpretation of that information. Let's say you have a sentence from the script.
Okay.
That's the starting base. Then you also have accompanying reference images, mood palettes, more elaborate descriptions.
Like mood board stuff, right?
Exactly. So as the more accumulated information you put together, the easier and faster and much quicker you can produce the artwork.
So where is the information you're from? Is from, for example, like the department from LA or other clients you're working on?
It always sources back to the client side.
Okay.
Because they, like I mentioned before, there is a stage before it even reaches VFX houses that a lot of visual problems have been encountered, and some of it has been solved. Some of it has not been solved, but there's certainly things that has been talked about.
Okay.
In terms of ideas and thinking, a lot of things have already been kind of attempted or tested. So this is the kind of information that's already been kind of touched.
Before.
And the more precise, or more accurate this comes down to the concept artist in the studio.
Okay.
The easier it is to work.
So it means before you touch those information, some ideas already, for example, like roughly down by those clients, they can offer what kind of exactly design they want, and they like to do it.
Yeah, it depends also on the client side. Sometimes there's a lot of pre-production work.
Okay.
So you'll find lots of concepts, lots of ideas, lots of references already established. And then you have other clients where there's not really much planning and things are kind of thrown together very quickly.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been really tested.
Okay. So what type of work you prefer to do? For example, they give you lots of information, lots of references, they limit you a little bit more, or they give you lots of freedom to work on?
Well, you're as a concept artist or any kind of artist, really, you're there to serve the client, and your job is to kind of interpret what is given down to you and kind of make it the best you can based on this information.
Okay.
Because essentially it's their product, it's their story, it's their vision, and the skill of a concept artist is how you interpret that and how you communicate it back.
Okay. Communicate back. Yeah, I think it is a really good point. Sometimes when I got a mood board from a director, I feels like they just gave me some very generic thing to work on, and I feels like sometimes you can definitely grab some photos from Google, someone else, without offending their copyright. You can just use that photos. Why concept artists have to make their own version? So sometimes that feels like it's not that meaningful to create something different, from generic photos from Google. Have you met that kind of situation before?
Yeah, it's more about the idea, really. I don't really the photo bashing stuff is okay, but as long as you communicate something with it, something that happens in a scene or something. Usually, the photo bashing stuff or the photo quality realism is more really for producer end and kind of because you can see something that's rendered realistically. It's very well defined, it's very well lit, and it's easier to, as let's say as a director, it's easier to communicate this to the studio or whoever's the main creator.
Yeah. So you basically mentioned the ideas and the communication is the two key point for concept artists to translate their language or information to the team, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. Yeah, go
on.
Yeah, I try to remember all you said, and if you said too much, I testing my translation.
Okay.
Okay, it's fine. 哎，苏健，他刚才问他很多一些很有意思的事儿，就是说，他们那边就是如果要做设计的话，有一些就是直接从客户那儿去拿一些 information 一些信息，就像咱们在公司。就是头让你做个什么东西，他会给你整理出一些，就是一全套的一个 PPT 阶段，对吧？他给你很多的那些信息，然后一些对一些参考呀、图片呀，有一些客户会把这些图片给的特别到位，就是说信息给你全，他们很明确，我就想要这个方案。哎，对，他说有一些客户就是说，就是他们都没有测试过，客户 A 呢可能是他们那边已经 OK 知道了这个东西，他就是心里有数，然后客户 B 可能就是觉得我给你更多的自由，然后你可以去自我发挥的东西多一些嘛。
不同的甲方，不同的工作模式啊，这个也是。
对，他觉得最重要的2点，一个就是你的就是他说你要 serve your clients， 就是让你那个客户开心嘛。对吧？就是说，你让他们给他们服务，让他们开心，然后，还有提到就是一个交流，他说特别的重要，因为概念设计师就是主要把那个客户的想法去正确的、准确的传达给整个团队，所以说他们可以去，比如说他们看一些客户直接给的信息，或者他们的图可能了解的不是特别到位，所以说在这个时候呢。概念设计师就要出现，去带动整个团队，让他们去在风格上，在指向上有一个正确的方向。
对，没错，这个概念设计这个东西说白了还是一个服务行业，对吧？都是为了一个项目服务，然后最终呈现的效果还是要老板说了算，这是最终的。然后我们能尽我们最大所能，就是说把这个东西就是在我们的手底下能够呈现的最好，是吧？把我们这个最好的这个水平发挥出来，是吧？能够把这种最好的这种美感啊，最好的一个效果呈现出来。
对。我打断一下，你是不是在画画？
啊，我就是对你们聊英文的时候，我听不懂，我就画两笔。
你能分享你的屏幕啊？对，你看的话，你可以分享你的屏幕，你再随便画点什么东西之类的。
哎，能怎么分享屏幕啊？
那个你如果是叫什么录屏的话，有那个录屏软件的话，可以去分享。
啊。
你是用什么录的？
那个
Bandicam。你看有没有就是说截取全屏呀，或者是分享部分屏幕？之类的东西，
那我就挪到一个屏上面了，就是
可以啊，可以。
这边录着这个对话呢。
OK， 你看的话，应该是它有一个，就是说把你那个聊天窗口放小，然后分享你的屏幕。
OK，
你先研究一下，我跟Levi 聊会儿。
对，你先聊。
What's up, Levi?
Hey.
You know what? Yeah, I'm trying to grab Jian to share his screen because he's sketching something.
Oh, okay.
If it feels like boring, just like while listening to us like talking Chinese, it feels like a little bit bored.
It's all fine. It's all good.
Okay, so I saw your profile. You're from Europe.
So. Okay, so my family is Hungarian,
Oh, okay.
I was born in '83 in Romania.
Romania. Okay.
Romania, yeah. When I was around 6, me and my dad moved to Sweden.
Oh, okay. Sweden.
So my sister, my mom as well. So I grew up in Sweden since I was 6.
Okay.
I did my education there, and I did my bachelor's there in university.
What do you learn? What's your major?
At the time, this was back in 2003.
2003. Okay.
Yeah, so that I went a program that was focusing on kind of the web design and multimedia.
Oh, okay, sure.
And this was around the first period where I encountered 3D modeling through 3ds Max.
Yeah.
So that was my first kind of CGI experience.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I've always been drawing and painting since I was a little child.
Yeah. Everybody came from the interest.
Yeah.
Joined from kids. Okay.
So I've lived abroad since 2000, autumn of 2008.
2008. Where do you live?
Currently in Canada.
No, after you moved from Sweden.
Oh, so I did 6 months. Well, 5-6 months in London, and then I moved to California.
Okay.
For a few years when I worked at Blizzard.
Okay. Wow, you worked for Blizzard before? Yeah, I saw several projects on your IMDb.
Yeah. So I did. I worked there for 2000 until 2012.
2012.
And then I came back to London, and I worked in MPC advertisement for about a year.
Okay.
And then I started my own company. I just did freelance artwork for various projects.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. It's called Dark Tales, like a comic book thing.
That's a separate thing, yeah. But So this is that's a Kickstarter that got funded a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, I checked the one before.
And it's been quite a tough, but it's a very educational process. But that's a different project. That's a different project.
Okay. So what's your own company do basically?
So it's basically just freelancing and doing concepts and matte painting work for
movies,
film, TV,
projects. Okay.
Games, advertisement, anything really.
Okay. So what's your role in Blizzard before? Concept artist?
No, I was a senior matte painter. So we worked directly in the cinematics department.
Oh, cinematic department. Yeah. We have the same team at Toronto as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. They have the motion. They just built a new work, like a new station something for the motion capture. So basically, Ubisoft Toronto can do lots of motion capture stuff from other studios.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the cinematic team as well.
Cool.
Nice. So basically, you focus only on like CG, that kind of cinematic filming, movie stuff thing, right?
It's been very mixed. I would say a lot of things in terms of entertainment industry, whether it's games, films, advertisement. So it's quite wide.
Sure. You know what? At the very first, before I worked for gaming, my first job is matte painter as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I got that offer. I didn't go. So after I got this offer for UB, so I just sorry, I can't do matte painter anymore. So maybe concept art is my dream. So I just
Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay. 苏大，你那边不能分享屏幕吗？
我这边就是我录屏挪到了这个屏幕上，但是我不知道怎么在这个 我们这个对话里面分享这个屏幕。
哦，不是在对话，它应该是在那个录屏软件儿有一个可以分享桌面儿之类的。如果没有，那也 OK。我刚才你知道那个 Levi 在03年左右，他说是开始接触一些 CG 部分的东西。
哦，03年的时候啊，那很早。
我靠，03年，现在15年前大概。就是他之前，他一开始说在哪儿出生的，我给忘了，好像不是那边，反正欧洲那边。他6岁左右就去那个瑞士了，在那边读大学，然后学的是像我理解就是类似于那种传媒，广告传媒之类的。然后从那儿他开始接触了一些就是3D 之类的东西，然后他先后
3D 是吧？
对，他应该是学的3D，他可能当时就是说之前是纯画画，然后从那儿大学之后就开始接触一些3D 东西，然后后来去了什么伦敦还有 LA 那边那个暴雪嘛，咱们看他那个 LDB 上，他去暴雪也是做的那个就是 Map Painter，就是它里边有那个就是 CG 过场动画的一个部门嘛，他就给里面做一些 Map Painting 什么的。然后他就完了事儿以后，他就去了伦敦那边的 MPC， 他那边应该是总部，然后就来加拿大了。他是从 MPC 的广告部门做起。咱国内有没有那个就是需要一些 map painting 啊，就是或者说概念图之类的，在广告宣传部门、影视类的？
广告宣传这我不太了解，但是应该会有，
对吧？
应该会有。但咱们
就是我们说的市场部嘛。
对。但咱们这个东西不成体系，现在说让一个广告公司或者什么专门有一个这样一个部门，我觉得也不多哈，应该不多。
OK。
然后让 Levi 聊一下，就是就是怎么样，就是为什么要选择这个行业？然后就是说，是什么影响他？是什么艺术家或者什么影视作品啊，影响他就是能够走进这个行业里面？然后，包括平时工作中的一些灵感的来源啊，聊一聊这些。
对，我之前看他画的一些特别的抽象，我就感觉。因为 map painting 嘛，就是数字绘景，那些对我们来说印象里就是很高清的图，去注重细节的东西。然后他个人练习又特别的抽象，我觉得这儿特别有意思。
对，怎么样把平时的练习，就是平时搜集到的一些灵感，转化到自己的实际的这个工作当中去。而且就是他们做这种特效的话，就是说，就怎么样解决这种现在观众的这种就是审美疲劳的这样一个状态，是吧？就是怎么能寻求突破，然后
你说的审美疲劳是你说的是就是特效现在盛行，
对，因为我们需要在哪些方面能够努力，能够就是说继续给人们制造一些新鲜感，就是在我们的概念设计领域上能够给人们制造一些新鲜感。
OK，
就是脱离那些套路化的那些东西。
Sub Levi? Okay, so we got several questions here. First one, first one is what motivation makes you become a concept artist? I feel like I ask this question for each concept artist interview. Yeah, so say for you, it's like, what kind of motivation to drive you to become a concept artist, or especially for movie? Why you didn't do, the stuff for gaming or animation? Was it special for movie for you?
So motivation to become a concept artist.
For movie, yeah.
Movie. It doesn't really, to me, it doesn't really matter if it's movie or adverts or games or commercial. It's coming up with a unique and new idea. That's exciting. that
Okay.
hasn't been done or seen before,
Mm-hmm.
and it's exploring something that is fresh. This has always been a challenge, because there's so many trends out there that when you come so really saturated, then the artworks, even though they're amazing and well done and great, it will not really stand out.
Okay.
So the challenge is really how do you find something that breaks out of it, that breaks out of the trends, it explores new ways of communicating.
Okay.
For instance, new designs on gun, or new designs for science fiction buildings. That is not the typical, the hard surface that the Star Wars, the kind of Blade Runner-esque stuff that we've seen many, many times.
Mm-hmm.
These are actually quite old concepts, but they're so powerful and strong that they're still today are kind of viewed as sci-fi. They're still science fiction, but the vision is actually quite old.
Like Save Me, tell Master Guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you saw those, think about the time they were made.
Yeah.
So, 60s, 70s, exploring new shape language, the kind of surfaces, the materials.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something people didn't see at the time. So
Okay.
for me as a concept artist, these are the new things to explore. What is the next kind of thing? What is there that we haven't done before?
So you wanna, it's not only create something, very exciting. So you wanna create something people can remember.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So another question. I saw lots of your work, especially your sketches, amazing to me. You know what? I follow you like almost 3 years ago.
Okay.
I thought, wow, that's a guy called Levi, and check it out. It's a website, because at the time I aiming to become a map painter. Right.
Okay.
So I learned something like 3D and a camera projection thing, and I searched all the great map painters online. And then at the time, I just found you. But at the same time, I feels like, map painting is basically focused on fashion, high-rise photos, and you have to have a very sharp eye on the high details, high-level details, right?
That's correct.
But I find your sketches is really, it's not called sketchy, right? So your brushstroke is pretty sketchy, but the details, to capture that kind of feeling, right? It's the details about how to have very accurate gestures. That is very delicate to me. So what kind of artists or where you got the inspiration from for your own personal thing?
I've been doing these sketches since 2001, if I can roughly remember. 2001, yeah.
Before you learned 3D?
Yeah.
So
2001, yeah.
Yeah. 他说他在01年，咱现在看那些他的草图，在01年他画的。Holy shit!
The inspiration for that is basically there's been many years ago we used to paint and post on forums like conceptart.org, CG Society, CGIM.
Okay.
Was another big one, and they had these they had these threads called the speed paint thread. It would grow massively after a couple of years. But
What is called? Like speed what?
Speed paint.
Oh,
threads.
speed paint. Okay, yeah.
And people would post every single day, like sketches, quick, loose images.
Yeah.
And occasionally there'll be some really amazing talent doing sketches, and those are the ones that really inspired me to do loose sketching. And now it's kind of I've always enjoyed it because it's partially it's different to what I do at work, but it's a relaxing way of painting. I feel.
Wow. So you keep sketching about 17, 16 years ago?
Probably, yeah.
Wow, it's a long journey.
It is a long journey.
Did you study some the master painters, oil painters before to build up your style, or you just like, okay, I see lots of talent CG artists doing loose sketch paintings, so I gonna follow them to do the same thing?
At first, when you kind of start, you get inspired. You look at artwork and it inspires you. You start to kind of copy.
Mm-hmm.
Not like exactly copy, but you're trying to replicate the similar style.
Okay.
And you kind of struggle, but along the way, when you start to actually study something, you start to think about why certain things are done in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you gradually start thinking about the process of the painting.
Okay.
And you start to learn about subjectiveness. You start to learn about subtlety. You start to learn about composition, light, shapes. And when you look at different kinds of style from the art master classics from 15th century and all the way to 19th, 20th century,
Mm-hmm.
you start to explore different ways of visual languages. From like the Impressionism is a great period,
Yeah.
I think. There's also the abstract, the modern. There's also the different kinds of portrait styles. All of these visual things kind of accumulate and kind of help you to kind of figure things out visually, or it adds to your visual repertoire.
Yeah, different unique what do we call, like some characteristic from different artists, right?
Yeah,
so we can
yeah,
definitely
different-
capture that.
Yeah, different styles, but once you study something, you start to see or feel different about certain things.
Okay.
And like I said, you first start to copy, but then the whole world opens up gradually, and you start to be aware of a lot more visual tools, a lot more visual approaches, and you develop your eye as well.
So you think maybe for beginner to grow up, it's like through copy from masterpieces at very first stage, and then they
Well-
can figure out something themselves?
I would say doing it this way is a long journey,
Okay.
but you can definitely get there. The important thing is to have an open mind and think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Then if you have workshops or teachers or seminars,
Mm-hmm.
continuously you're exposed to people who have been through the experience,
Okay.
and they can say certain things about something that makes you think different about how you paint.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
When you look at composition, it's basically composing something by using the tools of contrast of shape, contrast of color, contrast of
Yeah.
light,
Yeah.
and finding visual balance.
Yeah, I do check lots of like oil painters, and
Yeah.
I'm really surprised that at that time there's no Photoshop, there's no lasso tool, there's no
Yeah.
perspective tool, but they can do very accurate,
Yeah.
in terms of silhouette shapes and push the depths, play with the
Yeah.
contrast very slightly. Wow, it's a great step for the human beings to move.
But the thing is, if you develop your visual eye, then let's say you experience 20 years or more,
Okay.
even if you're working in different tools, oils or gouache, you
Mhm.
still kind of visually know something is not working or is working.
Okay.
So it's more about when you learn the tool, you still have the same visual eye to guide you.
Yeah. Agree.
The first challenge is of course understanding your medium, whether it's digital or whether it's traditional.
Yeah, know your tools first.
Yes.
Okay. In China we have one sentence. It's um, something like, so before you battle, so you have to keep your weapon sharp, that kind of thing.
I guess so, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess so.
So last question is, because you're working on the post-production for film, right? So you directly touching lots of VFX stuff in the movie. And right now, I'm assuming that lots of people say, excuse me, so they say, wow, we see tons of digital CG part in the movie. And at the very beginning, it feels like it's amazing. So you can see budget, you can have lots of benefit from have VFX stuff. But right now, almost all the sci-fi movie and futuristic movie, they do in the same way, right? And we barely see some very traditional way to film a film.
Yeah.
We see too much CG stuff. Do you feel like, is there any way for like filmmakers, they can develop something unique way to fresh our eyes? Not all the movies like about CG is compare what kind of technology you have, that kind of thing. It's not like very, for example, telling story in a very artistic way.
Yeah. So the movie is really at its core a story.
Okay.
If you combine like all the tools that helps you develop this movie to enhance and make the story stronger, that is the way to do it. If you start to overuse, or if you start to lose control of these tools, then you will not achieve to telling that story in the same way. For instance, if you have, I would like to say compare the first Jurassic Park, which was a balance of CGI, practical effects, practical effects, lots of new ground-breaking stuff for CGI.
Yeah.
But also, it had a quite exciting and fun, adventurous story. But when you compare, let's say, that with overflux of CGI, it's very distracting. There's so many things going on that you kind of lose your focus. And visually, when things are thrown at you, there's a lot of distraction. And if the distraction is too strong, you will lose your attention and you will lose the focus of the story.
Okay.
For instance, there's been, like, if you compare the Jurassic Park and like the Hobbit.
Okay, sure.
Hobbit was always like very rich in CGI and very kind of a lot of things went into it. But the pre-planning was not the same as Lord of the Rings, and there was a lot of issues with the actual end results of the movie.
Okay.
And it didn't have the same effect. So, the first Lord of the Rings was very well balanced, still sticking to the story. The Hobbit ones was too much. It didn't quite serve the story. I think it didn't quite. It was just too much, visually too much.
Okay, so you say without changing, bring some negative effect to the storyline. So the purpose for the VFX is just serve the story better.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
If you're into a TV series and you're watching an episode, and you're really into what's happening in the story, and then you see something in the background that really stands out.
Okay.
And then you lose your focus. So you kind of see what I mean. Or if you see some animation or the camera moves in a very crazy way that you would not, it will be more like a visual ride. Then that's another thing that distracts you.
Okay. There's one movie. The Ready Player One. That movie almost is full of 80% CG to build up this movie, but it's really great movie and really well done.
But you have to think about the context of the story, because the character is inside CGI.
Okay.
And is inside a gaming world and is inside these fantastical worlds where a lot of things can happen.
So the story is about the CG world, so it's okay to, you know,
that's right,
use CG to serve that story. Okay.
Because you're already telling to the viewer, like, this guy is about to go into a completely fantastical CGI world and anything can happen.
Yes.
So the viewer is ready.
Okay. So without, for example, there's a CG part, it's really well done to serve the story, and it's not very distracted. So what kind of direction or points we can you know, make it better to level up the quality of the movie?
Well, if you do something that, let's say, practical, it's very hard or expensive to build, that you would do in CGI.
Yeah.
You would do it in CGI, but to the level that it works within the movie, within the story.
Okay. So what kind of way we can make a change to the current style of the movie to give audience kind of fresh eye?
It's tricky because this is kind of decision making that has to happen on very high level.
Very high level.
Like director and studio level. And there's often compromises on what to keep or have in the movie. Sometimes a lot of the stuff is basically driven by a franchise. So you have you have Jurassic World, you have Star Wars, you have Marvel. These are massive universes that also is a franchise. So it's like the comic books, you have the merchandise, the toys, you have everything else that is associated with selling products. So they kind of wedge in things like this to help the children or the family to buy this because they like the movie, you know, they like to have this toy, etc., etc. These are kind of like the things that they wedge into the movies to promote selling of other products.
Okay.
So these are the massive, big, billion-dollar projects, which is not essentially. It's not essentially about a great story. It's kind of, story has to be okay enough, but ultimately is about a ride, a visual experience, and it's for children more than mature or older audiences.
Okay, so you feel like you can some directors, they can have a strategy for some accessory stuff like a book or toy to.
Well, this is more. I would say not so much. They're more interested in telling a vision and a story. Okay. The merchandise comes from the kind of company side of things, the film studios who own the rights and etc. When you look around in the toy stores, there's so much Star Wars everywhere. So when you think of how much a toy costs. And think about how much you spend on a movie ticket. Okay.
So what you mentioned is like online and offline, the merchandise and the movie. So the overall quality for the movie is about everything. It's not only the one you see in cinema.
Yeah, I mean, if you do tell a great story and you inspire to create amazing characters, then everyone will really love it. You can look back at the Matrix franchise, and the Marvel stuff has been really successful as well. Even on the TV side with Netflix and streaming shows. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Take a rest. Sure, thanks. Yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot information. Yeah.
Yeah.
As I know, I'm not pretty clear of what's going on in the China side. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious actually. How has China grown with the effects and CGI the last 10 years?
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Let me ask. 苏大。刚才 Levi 说了好多那个有关。第一个问题你问了什么来着？他是
第一个问题，我问了什么来着？我都忘了我问了什么来着。
我想起来，就是说他那个
设计流程吧，就是
不是设计流程是一开始就是说他那个他这些画这些素图，的东西吧，他不是从好多年前就在画嘛，一开始他说就是跟着什么叫什么 speed painting。就是素图他们叫，然后跟他们就大概16、17年前就开始画这个，然后就从那个时候他就养成了画这个的习惯。然后呢 ，OK， 这个就不说了。他说那个就是电影里边那些特效的东西，就是他认为他提出了一个很好的一个解释吧。就是说现在特效跟电影的一个结合，其实有很多是没有结合好，就是说去过分的去用了过量的一些特效，然后他举了一个例子，就说在那个一些 TV show 里面，如果前面有个人在表演之类，但那背景弄得很花哨之类的，所以说或者说有个什么东西来回飞过，但是飞的那个路径就特别的绕，特别有意思，然后你就会感觉被那些额外的信息被吸引了，
喧宾夺主了。是吧？
对，他说这个 CG 呢，就是特效部分，主要的作用就是去服务你这个故事的情节。这一点我觉得他说的特别到位，就感觉你不管做任何的，你拍 CG 也好，或者你做道具也好，主要就是为了你去把你这个故事讲得更明确嘛。或者说让观者更能被这个故事所吸引，这是我感觉确实是有必要考虑，要不然什么东西我能用特效就特效，然后我电影就是在一个讲故事的层面，我转换成为一个炫技的一个。
其实我觉得这个好的特效反而真的是让人看不出是特效，让人觉得是非常真实的一种东西，一种存在。其实好多电影里面其实真的是，不着边际的，就是不着痕迹的那种不着痕迹的那种特效，让人感受不到特效存在，反而真的就是在用心的再去看这个故事，是吧？
对，
我们看很多这个就是一些甚至是一些文艺片里面，他们那些特效其实真的做得很好。其实说白了还是要有一个好故事。
对啊，我问他说，这个就说如何提高一个电影的质量。他其实说这个电影是个挺复杂的，不是说只是一个片儿出来就 OK， 因为你要一些周边的产品，你如何去做线下的去把一些观众去了解这个故事。比如说你的一些星战之类的，或者说一些 Marvel 的一些漫画书，就在你看这个片儿之前，你已经对这个故事已经有很了解，或者说你对这个里边那些人设特别的感兴趣。就是我感觉就是说在不同的方面去把住观众的心，然后他们会感觉 OK， 这个电影看起来不会特别的陌生，对这个故事有一个在看电影之前就对这个故事有一个很全局的了解，或者说我特别想了解整体的故事怎么样。
这种是就是扎根到他们那个本身就像那个漫画英雄那种电影，其实他们就是之前都是了解这些故事的，其实是吧？他们是了解这些故事的，然后
就像星战说看星战的都是星战粉儿。
对，星战是一个，但是如果说像漫威的那些英雄的电影，其实也是在故事这个层面上在寻求一些突破吧，我觉得是吧？因为你看这个，就像那个蜘蛛侠 翻拍了无数次了，然后前面几个版每一个版的开头都是一样一个同样的情节，然后直到最近的这一版，就是在这个复仇者联盟里面，他才这个把这个就是这个故事重新调整了一下，是吧？
对对对，
这个也是会，我觉得跟特效一样啊。这个故事如果说一直这么样老生常谈的话，也是会让观众产生这个审美疲劳的一点。
就是你觉得在合理用特效的情况下，也要剧本就变成了更关键的东西呗？
唉，说这个议论人家的电影，其实我们中国反而是最缺好故事的。
他特别感兴趣，就是说在过去10年，中国的就是咱不说剧本啊、故事之类的，咱就说那个电影后期方面，你了不了解大概是如何发展的一个情况，或者说是近10年是如何发展的？
这个我不太了解，一知半解，因为我主要接触的这个影视行业这一块，主要是接触的还是前期，甚至我没有跟那个完整的剧组。所以说对于后期，我之前这个做这个《风之传奇》的时候是跟的后期，后期是他们本来已经拍完了，然后做了一些这个镜头的补充，然后对，我们要重新画一些分镜。然后重新做一些设计，然后跟之前拍完的那些东西，因为它剧本后面又有改动，然后我们在里面要补充一些东西。
就是电影拍完了以后，然后再改动这些。我靠，那成本很大。
对，那但是没有办法，他们之前演员的调度的问题，那我就不太清楚了。然后要补充这些镜头的话，很多这个就不能是。演员演完了，人家你就不能再让人家补拍这些东西了。然后很多时候是用的 CG 人啊，用的 CG 人然后
替身 CG 替身，
对，不敢给什么特写，就是怕穿帮，都是那种偏远景的打斗的那种场景。然后后期特效的话，这边就光我知道的就是这一部电影的话，要找了好多个公司来参与。就是
对，这个跟这边都是基本都差不多。就美国来一个片儿，加拿大基本所有的特效公司都会分到好多镜头，去平均合作完成一部电影，而不是说就是单独给一个公司去完成。可能他们的片子质量也会根据工作室的能力去做一下区分。
就是说。这样的话，一部电影这么多家公司去参与的话，这怎么能够就是保证一个片子的一个整体的一个风格和质量呢
？OK， 这个我还真没想过。我感觉肯定它有一个把关的。我 MPC 肯定是会跟其他公司，我感觉就会合作做一个电影，不可能说这个电影就让你 MPC 给承包了，应该会有合作。So one question, Levi. For example, as I know, we got the Canadian side got a movie credit a work from LA. For example, we're gonna separate with several studios, right? It's not like, for example, just MPC take over all shots of the movie. MPC probably work with another studio to work on the same project.
Yeah, that happens. That happens often as well when a studio bids for a lot of work.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be NPC, but let's say they bid for a lot of work, and the client can be difficult, or there's not enough development of the project. Things get delayed.
Okay.
And in the later stages, or try to before that, they realize that in order to deliver, they have to outsource some portion of the movie that they bid for.
You mean MPC gonna outsource some parts to other studios?
Well, it's not exclusive MPC, but they work together with other studios. Let's say a feature film, There's a sequence, or let's say it's the credit sequence, like the intro sequence.
Okay.
Let's say a company bids for that, and they realize like, we won't be able to do it. Let's outsource it to a smaller company who does CGI or effects, and they get hired for the job, and they deliver. And that's one way of actually, when sometimes a job that gets from one studio also gets to another one. But it also happens that the directors and the film studio decide what portion of the movie goes to what studio. And there's all kinds of negotiations and bidding and etc. that goes into it. And this is pretty standard.
Okay, so who is the guy to, for example, one movie goes to 4 different studios to work on the post-production. So how can they make sure that the consistency of the movie or keep the same style for the movie, because it's work by different studios?
This is where they split the sequences, so they're kind of different.
Okay.
It doesn't disrupt the other studio doing another sequence. Sometimes there is a sharing of assets when it's closely connected together. But it depends. Every show is a bit different, but usually they split the big chunks differently amongst the bigger studios. And one portion goes to MPC, and the portion goes to, let's say, Framestore, so on and so on.
So this is about the TV show. How about the movie? Is there any chance like one movie being split into different studios working on?
Yeah, exactly. The same thing. So you have each studio, like NBC, has VFX supervisors.
Okay.
In the studio, there's also VFX supervisors, which is called client-side supervisors.
Client-side, okay.
And these two people work together, and the client-side supervisor deals with all the studios.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have the supervisors in the studio itself, and then you have the client-side supervisor who deals with MPC first, deals with Framestore, then deals with Mill, etc., etc. They're the key client-side supervisors.
Okay.
And this is for films and TVs as well. You think like Game of Thrones, similar. Yeah.
So basically, how to keep the same style and how to keep the same quality for the movie is basically due to the 2 main guys, right?
Yeah, and you have, of course, the director and the editors. They play major roles in the development.
Okay.
It's their feedback that is highest. And then you also have the studio who hired the directors. So a director can actually get fired if they're not performing well or doing as they're wanted them to do. Or it can happen really that directors get fired from projects or swapped out.
Wow.
Because ultimately the highest level is really the studio, whether it's Marvel or Disney or any other studio, Legendary. They are the ones who provide the money for the film studios. They are the ones who hire the directors, and then there's a whole kind of hierarchy of structure that goes into it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I know you're curious about the post-production in the past 10 years in China. And actually Jian was basically focused on the pre-production side.
Okay.
And the post-production, he mentioned there's one example he worked before. The met a little problem is they finished the film and then some script or story got changed. So they have to push to these guys to change after they finish the film. They storyboarding, they reshoot some scenes, and they cannot as an actor to play again, right? So they use some CG character instead of this.
Yep.
Yeah. But as I know, in China, post-production for movies, it's not that strong as say the Canadian studios is the biggest post-production country around the world, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it did have kind of different, but as I know, at least like 2 or 3 pretty good studios in China. I know there's one Pixmondo.
Pixmondo, yeah.
Yeah, there's one in Toronto, and there should be another branch in China as well, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw they do some Chinese movie on their website.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Have MPC done any Chinese movie before?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
OK， 对，他刚才说那个叫什么说什么来着？刚才你他问那个那个就是如何去一个电影或者一个连续剧，他走了很多的 studio 很多的工作室去完成同一个项目，就是如何去保持这个不同项目不同工作室完成的项目去一致的风格。其实他在这儿说的是不同的 studio 之间是合作的特别紧密的。就比如说 MPC 他接到了一些比如说一个连续剧里边几集，然后他会说把那几集他会再外包给其他的公司，这是一种方式。然后呢，这个 MPC 的里面的 supervisor 就是 MPC 的总监跟那个外包给的那个公司的总监，他们2个人会合作的特别密切，去保证这个项目的一个质量和风格。然后这是一种合作关系。另一种关系就是说，比如说迪士尼他们把就是一些我们说的就是 producer 就是制作人，他们把那个电影分给下面的后期公司做的时候，他们有时候会说这一部分我们就让 MPC 去做，然后那一部分我们会指定某些公司去做，他不会让你去给你以后然后你去再分。然后呢，他们也会去，他说是最高的一个级别的控制权，就是他们的一些总监之类的，然后会雇一些叫什么 supervisor， 还有 art director， 就是一个项目总监，算是一个是艺术总监，就是说这些人都会成一个几何三角形的一个结构去合作，
也常会聚在一起开会，是吧？
对啊，还是听他说，就是感觉是不同公司的人合作，其实他们，比如说迪士尼的人跟这些 MPC 的，或者说跟其他 studio 的头特别的了解，就他们基本上都是相互合作的一个关系，挺紧密的，所以说才能保证一个项目的一个质量问题。尤其是连续剧的话，我听说啊，看一个节目好像说，就你看一个连续剧前3集如果值得看。不是前3集之后，如果值得看到第5、6集值得看，那这个连续剧就可以看。如果前3集看完以后觉得不错，然后可能后面几集看的明显质量下降了，感觉这就是前3集找大导演，然后后面都是小导演去接手的。
还有这样？
会有，我上回听什么节目我忘了，他谈到这个问题，我觉得挺搞笑。对。
对，
这个确实
有的剧集每一集的导演都不一样，我记得。
每一集，我靠，那个就算总监了吧，总监的事儿。OK， 我上次叫什么？咱们之前谈国内。我觉得在游戏和影视这2个领域算是整个的 CG 领域比较大的，但是动画来说可能没有这么大的一个人群。所以说，你是当时是如何就是或者说步入这个圈的，或者说为什么没有选择做游戏做电影？
我到现在为止，其实我都算一个新人，我都算一个新人，你们都是我的前辈，对，你们都是我的前辈。
太谦虚。
对，然后这个行业来说，我原来是这个不是专业的学美术的嘛，然后原来一直是自学，后来
OK，
对，后来就是能够开始接一些外包，也是自己在老家自己在家里面接一些外包，然后再往后的时候就是能接触到一些就是能画得好一点了，是吧？能画得好一点了，然后能够就是在网上发自己的图，然后因为也是比较喜欢电影这一块，因为觉得跟自己在家做外包相比，以及跟做游戏相比，我觉得做电影能更接近我所追求的一些想画的东西啊。可能那时候就觉得画的东西会爽一点，
或者说在题材上比较
对
OK。
中国的游戏你知道这个其实整个这个娱乐产业应该都是比较落后的，但是相对来说，我觉得电影的话，那个题材能够更广泛一些。
对，相对于游戏来说，确实稍微广泛一些。
对，而且中国现在没有什么3A 级的那种大作，那种能够让你就是这个做概念的来说，能够发挥自己的那种特长，不像你们在国外是吧，就可以接触到那些好项目。
我感觉国内挺屈才的，对我认为在前期画画阶段，单纯说画画阶段，和先不说设计，就纯功底塑造之类的，国内的水平要比国外的要强很多，
是吗？
所以说对于一些画画的人，在国内接触不到一些很理想的项目或者很高质量的项目，确实是一个挺遗憾的一个事儿。
但是往好的方面想吧，就是这些年也不断的有的人在做一些尝试，比如说现在这个做这个主机游戏的也开始越来越多，可能慢慢会有好转吧，包括电影。
OK， 你对如果说一些新朋友想入行的话，比如说就是我完全不知道这个电影行业是怎么样，然后如果我想进入电影行业，或者说从游戏转到电影，有没有一些给朋友的一些建议？
我个人的想法，我是说，如果这个想进入一个行业，就要先去学习吧，先去做一些了解啊，就是说你在这个行业里面你需要做一些什么。就我的领域来说，我觉得首先就是因为我们中国的这个影视行业的话，它没有像那个好莱坞那样，就是说分得那么细，就是说工业化那个流程那么成熟，所以说我们现在中国的这些这个想要进入概念设计这个领域的话，可能需要掌握的技能要全面一些，是吧
？OK，
不光是做这些设计的一些线稿，你还要就是说场景啊、角色呀，我觉得都要拿起来才行啊，甚至包括气氛图，因为你跟一个剧组可能这个活会干得比较杂，分工不会那么的明确。然后就是说，我觉得要攒作品，攒一个就是自己的一个作品集啊，就是说你第一次去面试的时候啊，第一次投简历的时候，一定要让这个公司或者是剧组能够看到你整体的一个综合实力，然后你的设计能力、你的表达能力啊，大概就是这样。然后就像我刚才说的，就是尽量全面一点吧。
全面一点。对，其实这个说到，有很多国内的一些学生问我，就说，我想做人设，就是说，或者说我想做场景，就是他们把那个设计分的特别的细，就是说我只专攻某一项。当然这个是在据我了解，在公司里面，就是有些人你可以去跟你的那个总监去传达你的意思嘛，比如说我就是特别想画人物，所以说你有机会去完全做这个，但是说去体现能力方面的话，还是需要确实需要全面发展一些，比较 符合公司的意愿。
对，而且就是说，你如果还有一个是题材，就是说你画的东西这个题材，啊，我觉得就是说这个概念设计师能够体现出他一个能力的来，就是设计能力的这种作品的话，我觉得这个要有一定的指向性啊，就是就能够有一些发挥空间的啊，比如说奇幻是吧？东方奇幻啊，或者是这个对于科幻机械类比较擅长的，然后就是指向性多一些。然后很多人就是很多这个老板啊，或者是他们就是说对这个东西不太懂的话，你说这些东西，你能画，但是可能
Sorry about that.
No problem, man.
Okay, that's okay. 就是说你的简历作品上面你画了这个风格的东西啊，这个题材的东西。比如说我画的是这个科幻的，但是那边就会问你，是否擅长他们的就是他们会直接看你的作品是不是符合他们的需要。
对，这跟在国外这边面试特别注重就是你的作品准备的风格。比如说我想针对 Blizzard 暴雪。那我的作品集的构建一个里面的一些图的一些搭配，就完全要针对你暴雪的一些游戏的风格去走。
对。那你说，所以说，如果你的这个自己的作品啊，就是说，比如说我比较全能，我什么都能画。就是我的作品集里面，我又有科幻的，又有奇幻的，然后我又有一些卡通风格的。所以说你在面对不同的剧组或者不同的这个项目的时候，进不同的这个项目组、不同的公司，你拿出这一部分相应的作品来，就是说你的选择性会更多一些。对，然后你的所谓的话语权也会更多一些。对，全面的话。
Okay, Levi, same question for you. For example, talk a lot with Jian about, for beginners, how to get in this film industry and, or some concept artists for gaming, how to transfer from gaming to the film. You know what, the project, especially for the game project in China is kind of limited.
Okay.
Right? It's all about the mobile games. They barely have like AAA games, but some concept artists in China, they are great, well done on render, that kind of shading, tones, everything is pretty outstanding, but they don't have really great project to work on. So yeah, it's a little bit of pity. And so what's your recommendation for beginners to get in an industry like film industry? For those, they have no ideas what's going on there.
Okay, there's a lot of work. Like the wealth of knowledge to learn is much bigger now than say 10 years ago. There's a lot of workshops, there's a lot of online courses, there's a lot of YouTube channels that, similar to what we're doing. There's a lot of podcasts of artists connecting together, experienced on different levels to share knowledge. So I would say if you're completely fresh, to start just researching really, to find what it is we'd like to do.
Okay.
In terms of skill sets and experience, study what like a professional artist has on their portfolio, not just the personal work, but also like the professional work that they do.
Okay.
And let's say you have very senior, very kind of well-known names. You can put this as a high level of achievement. So you as a junior artist who wants to break in, try to understand how this certain artist reached the way he did, what is the quality that they're doing, and your journey is about understanding how to achieve this.
As as I know, lots of beginners, they curious a lot by your approach for that kind of certain image, that quality. For example, I don't know 3D, right? So I can never achieve that kind of quality work. So they kind of feels like I have to learn more about software or
this is there's always been a stigma with certain type of learning.
Okay.
That it's supposed to take long and is supposed to be very difficult to understand. But that's with today's tool, that's not quite true.
Okay.
Sometimes you have YouTube clips of 5 minutes showing a very simple feature, a very simple function.
Mm-hmm.
But those 5 minutes can actually open up a new way for you to do something.
Okay.
So it's more about certain principles, because you can do a very simple demo, very crude little example, but the artist can already start thinking of how they can use it.
Okay. Yeah. So this is why we invite you here. Yeah, we let them to know some very valuable suggestion.
Yeah.
Professional artists, they can definitely open their mind to move forward. Yeah.
It's not just. I mean, it's great to know tricks and tips. Absolutely.
Big tips. Okay.
Yeah, but it's more about how you think about learning and how you grow from it. Like the quickest I've seen people achieve like an industry level from junior, beginner, mid, high is basically based on how they're willing to learn, how much they're willing.
So in film, how many years you would take from, say, junior to become to senior?
Well, this is an individual question because I can't really say 10 years, 5 years, because you can have an artist who's really inspired. They can learn everything within, or not everything, but a lot in a very short period of time. Like I said, it depends on how open you are to learning new things.
Okay.
And how hard you work at as well. On the other example, you can have someone who's not really that interested but does it anyway. They develop much, much slower. So I can't really say a year amount to this.
Yeah,
so you have to look at the individual.
But generally speaking, 5, 6 years, something.
Well, there are different kind of levels of, like, you can get into the industry as a junior.
Okay.
And there's different levels of tasks, of complexity and challenges. So they can start working, of course. But, the more experienced, the more widely skilled you are, the more flexible, the more kind of different things you can do is where you become mid, senior, and lead, and supervisor, and so on.
Yeah. As I know, I'm not pretty sure I'm right for this. So basically, concept art is for movie transfer from map painters. Is that true?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You don't have to be a map painter to become a concept artist, and you don't have to be a concept artist to be a map painter. It doesn't quite work in a similar way. The only connection they have is that they work very directly with a visual tool, with a visual kind of format.
Yeah.
They're both dealing with 2D images. They're both dealing with light, all of these things that are kind of connecting.
Okay.
The main thing that really makes a concept artist strong is his way of communicating his ideas and creations visually. Okay. The map painter is more focused on realism and making things invisible in the background for any kind of project.
Yeah.
He's not really dealing too much with exploration of new ideas. His challenge is to create complete and invisible realism, basically. it's different kind of challenge because you have to be very sharp eye with details. You have to have very good understanding with light. You have to have very kind of keen senses visually to adjust something, because sometimes you adjust something very slightly and it doesn't work.
Okay.
So this is more the strengths of the map painter. The concept artist. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, as I see, the map painters, their work is basically the final output to the final project.
That's right.
Right. So concept art it's more pre-production. So
yeah, it's ideas. It's ideas.
Yeah. Okay. But to me, it feels like it's really hard to be a concept artist for a movie, because I check on something on the Indeed. It's really hard to find any job opportunity for concept artists, especially to find some freelancer to do this. But for map painter, it's a little bit more opportunity for you to find jobs.
Yeah, there's it's different kind of skills. There's definitely what has happened in the last decade is that I think the growth of concept art has just grown insanely, and you have much more people willing or wanting to do concept art than you have map painters.
Oh, okay.
So this has actually shifted the amount of people that is out in the industry. Like a lot of people love hanging on ArtStation or these sites and be inspired by very visual images, lots of concepts, lots of painting, as opposed to doing like DMP and background extensions. And so simply put, there is many more concept artists out there. So you have more competition. You have also, it kind of pushes how much you earn as well, because the companies have a greater choice of people to choose from. And usually the concept artists or the concept art teams are always smaller than the map painting teams.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because map painting, the targeting to finish the project, and concept art, especially for a movie, sometimes the guy have great idea, so it doesn't necessarily have 10 people to work on.
That's right. So art departments in general are usually quite small.
How many people in there, like under your department?
At the moment, I don't know. But if I'm to guess, between 4 to 6, 7, something like this.
6, 7. Okay.
Yeah, this is just a pure guess. I don't really know at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. And go on.
In the teams, you'd have different skill sets. So you would have someone who has a bit of 3D knowledge. You have someone who's great at character or figure drawing and more focused on character and character design. You have someone who's great with, let's say, mood boards or environment designs. So there's a bit of flexibility in the department.
So let's see. I do believe lots of people know how to become a concept artist. So, for example, if somebody want to become a map painter, so what kind of skill set they're gonna require to become a map painter?
It would help them a lot if they start to understand photography.
Photography, okay.
Yeah, because we work very directly with plates and with photographs and references.
Yep.
Second is, I always recommend map painters to actually paint, not just collage.
Okay. I understand.
In the old classic ways of map painting, you used to have the glass format, and you would paint on top of the glass.
Yes.
and you would have a camera filming the shot, and that would be your matte painting.
Yeah.
It's called that because it would be matted together with composite.
Okay.
Today, I think the term is a bit not quite accurate, but it's still stuck with us. Because we do a lot of 3D CGI painting and collaging, so we're kind of like collage environment CG artists.
Okay.
More like.
Does he need any, for example, skills by using 3D or like a Nuke or Maya, that kind of thing?
Yes. So
as a matte painter?
Well, years ago, it used to be good enough if you only knew Photoshop. Like, they would have...
Okay.
But now it's become wider in terms of skills. So usually, most of the cases, a matte painter also knows a bit of compositing, so a bit of Nuke. And also a little bit of 3D, because they need to project their painting on geometry.
The camera projection thing.
Exactly. And once again, photography comes important because they need to understand the camera as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So not just animation and references, but because we're working with plates all the time.
Yeah, I know you are a really great photographer.
Oh,
like a photo maker. Yeah, I saw lots of great photos you post on the Facebook. It's really it's pure art.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very nice.
I recommend matte painters to actually like sketch and paint, like
sketch and paint. Okay.
Yeah, like loose sketches, speed paint stuff.
Like what do you do?
I found it helpful to understand lighting and paint light.
Okay.
Because you're defining shapes and you're defining a shape within a lit environment, and usually matte painters are trying to extend something, but they need to understand light in order to change it.
Okay. Sure. We are probably finishing in 15 minutes or 10 minutes, around that, okay?
That's okay.
Okay. So, 苏大，问你个问题。咱们国内据我所知，就是刚才 Levi 说了个很有意思的事儿，就是说在1年前，就是一些他做数字绘景嘛，那个人还是就是只会 Photoshop 就可以，然后现在慢慢的要求就是你的技能需要更丰富一些。就是我不只会 Photoshop， 我还会画，我还会拼图。可能就是很多国内朋友他们其实不是太了解这个数字绘景是怎么样一个概念。就是他刚才说在很早之前数字绘景其实就是在玻璃上画画嘛。
对，我最早看过那个《星球大战》的那个。
对，那个
是吧？
对，就是他觉得就是说，如果是 matte painting 是特别的，仅是拼照片的话，他感觉这个能力还是有点欠缺。
不够的。
对，只是拼照片我理解只是一个手段。还是需要全面一些，而且他们会用到一些软件给一些就是看这期节目，而且特别想做 matte painting 的一些学生一些建议，一定要懂摄像机。
懂什么？
因为他说懂摄像机。
摄像机
对，就是说他 matte painting 其实是，就是他去融入一个拍摄的一个阶段，所以说他
要懂镜头语言，对吧？
对，一个镜头的，他刚才说就是 working with camera， 就是说他做电影就是我们就是跟摄像机打交道，所以说你做其中一个环节的工作，你必须要了解摄像机，你的摄影技巧，你的摄影的一些比如说焦距之类的，就是你在哪儿失焦了以后，你是不是会变得稍微的模糊一些，这样都要在那个背景里边体现。一个是这个我觉得挺 挺到位的，要不然很多人说，哎，我会拼图，我就是买 Painter， 我画不好，我会拼图，我就买 Painter。还有他会提到一些画素图嘛，就是我感觉就是说在光影的控制上，在 Map Painting 里面是特别的，就是微乎其微的东西，
很微妙，
你感觉不到，但是说它确实起到一个很重要的作用。然后其次再说，再是叫什么？你需要会懂一些其他软件，一些那个玛雅呀、Nuke 之类的，就一些合成类软件和3D 软件。其次再是这些东西。所以说，对于想成为 Map Painter 的朋友们，可以就是还是要从最基础的东西去练习、去学习。不要太专注于，比如说，
不要沉迷于技巧，哈，
对，跟画画其实是一样的。
对，没
错。据我所知啊，那个我看到国内的很多的做电影的朋友，就是尤其在电影的一些图里面，他们用照片的频率特别高。你对这个对 Map Painting 来说当然是特别的，就是需要嘛。他们也不是说是完全依靠照片，但是照片级别高清的图才是项目最终所需要的东西。
是，
因为你 Map Painting 出的一张图，它就是直接放到电影里面嘛，就是跟 concept 做的完全不一样，所以说你需要特别高清。
倾向于制作是吧？Map Painting倾向于制作，
它就是一个成品。
对，
出来就是一个成品的东西。
是应用到影片里面，直接应用这个到背景里面或者怎么着的，是吧？
对，
它对精度要求还是挺高的。
对，他刚才说了一个很有意思的现象，就是说那个 Map Painter 这2年来说越来越少，因为 concept 人越来越多。因为 Map Painter 就他对那个技术上一些要求呀。你做的东西就是完全要放到你的成品里面嘛，所以说你没有任何叫什么回旋的余地，
发挥的空间。
如果说，对，就特别要满足项目需求。而且你现在在 RC 上，他说很多人会画画，他就可以自称为 concept artist，所以说导致了 concept artist 越来越多，竞争越来越大，然后做 map painting 的人就越来越少。
说的这个 concept 这个，其实好多其实也是画这个什么领域的都有，很多还是画插画的比较多。其实它跟这个概念设计也不是很沾边儿。其实，对，
现在有最常见的问题不就是插画师跟概念设计师有什么区别？这个
服务对象不同，对，服务对象不同，然后表达的内容不同。这个是关键。
对，就是 concept 更倾向于去为客户服务，
对，为项目服务。
而插画师多是一个自我表达的一个过程。
追求的方向也不一样。对。
那你在那个，比如说在做图的时候，我看了一些你的图小细节啊，确实有拼照片的嫌疑。我想问一下，你对这个作为 concept artist 来说，概念设计师来说，或者说插画师来说，我们对照片的一个拼图的一个使用，你有没有一个什么，也不能说见解，比如说版权之类的我们就不说了，我们就说如何去合理的去利用素材在创作过程中。
这个在我们工作流程里面是一个有效的一个手段。我觉得也不光是我们哈，这个应该是一个世界通用的这么一个方法。这个是很能，就是说有这个照片的一个辅助的话，它是能够很好的这个快速的提高自己这个画面当中的一些信息量一些精度，包括你们画一个城市跟城市有关的一些场景比如说一些什么爆炸呀，然后或者是什么这个战争场面啊，那你说如果纯去画去，根本就不可能达到那种效果。而且做概念设计的话，很多时候这个两天就要出一张图，2天出一张气氛图，那你这2天里面 其实如果说用了照片素材的话，可能几个小时就能拼出来。但是如果说你纯去用手画，那肯定是要花好长时间才能达到这个效果。所以首先我们是先追求一个效率啊，快速的表达，然后在这个素材的使用上吧，反正就是有这个版权这个问题，我觉得就是有个底线，就是说还是用一些没有版权的，包括一些付费的一些素材会比较好一些，对吧？最主要的就是不要叠别人的作品，这是比较关键的，这算一个底线。
OK， OK， 行，那个对，既然你说贴图这是个手法，就是为了效率嘛，对吧？为了表达信息的一个准确性，在规定的时间内，那你会不会，比如说所有的细节，我基本可以都从素材中找到？因为我看到很多现在做电影的一些朋友，他们的图画的成分特别少，80%、70-80%左右，基本都是就是去拼图嘛，然后在拼图上去调整光影，就是他们所画的感觉就是一个人肉渲染的一个过程。
这就形成了一个什么？就是形成一个套路化。你会发现，这个就是过度依赖这个贴图的话，你会发现这个好多不同的，就包括我们中国的哈，就是那种东方奇幻的那种项目里面，而且好像就2个截然不同的项目里面会出现同样的图，就是同样的素材，甚至同样的角度、同样的构图，你就会这个觉得很尴尬。然后他们就会把这个设计师画出来的贴出来的这个东西，拼出来的这个东西，直接应用到电影里面，你就会发现2个电影会特别雷同。这就是我之前我说这个套路化的一个问题。这个设计师自己本身的一个我觉得他本身的一个
自我表达一个过程，
自我表达是一个构图的能力，是吧？以及对于一些创造性的一些塑造的一些能力，我觉得是必备的。这个照片在我们这个里面只是让它提高里面的一些不必要的信息量，主要的东西还是需要我们自己来设计，我们自己亲手去画，或者是画一个草图，或者是你现在这个3D 软件也越来越傻瓜，你也可以去建模嘛，对不对？不能太依赖这个照片素材。
OK， 就是你说照片用多了会导致一些信息的雷同太多，然后很套路化。
对，
然后可能更多的人就会依赖照片，然后他们自我表达或者组织画面的一个能力就会越来越弱。
而且会有一些人就在这里边就浑水摸鱼，就是说我不会画画，但是我会拼图，他也可以自称为是概念设计师，你知道吗？这个就很尴尬了。对，行业里面就国内的行业里面很多这样的所谓的概念设计师，其实他是
加引号的概念设计师。OK，
我不知道国外是一个什么样的状态，肯定是要，我觉得呀，这个现状要比中国国内的要好一些。中国是缺人才的，但是就是缺画的好的，要不然就是那种市面上的那种概念设计师一抓一大把，真的没有什么意思。
其实国内的东方题材特别的有独特性，如果比起国外的一些东西来说的话，就是你国外的一些概念设计师，他根本就是不太了解你这个文化，他都不懂嘛，所以说他对这中国这个区域对他们来说就是一个盲区，所以说中国有这个很好的一个优势的一个文化上的点，确实是需要更好的一些去利用一些。
但是比较盲目吧，现在就是，因为这个文化上其实你表面上看起来是这个都在追求这个中国化的这个中国风或者怎么着的，但是其实上它其实是一种还是在向外界的模仿，停留在目前这样一个状态，它不太对于自己本身的这个东西，其实它是不是很自信的还是不自信的。我觉得我们现在看到的很多就是所谓的中国风的一些东西，它其实是在模仿周边的，模仿一些日本 甚至韩国的一些文化元素再加入到我们的这个设计里面。对于中国本土的一些，反而近几年开始重视起来了前几年的话，就应该是这个元素应该是挺混搭的挺混搭的。现在开始重视起来了，我看大家对这个对这个东西。
Sure, what's up, Levi?
Hey.
Thanks for your patience.
Yeah, no worries.
We talk a bit about, the map painters and the concept artists, and there's a very interesting moment in China. Is bunch of artists they only know, or we say it's not like only know. They have very weak skills on painting, and they basically take advantage of references and photos to do the photo bash for their work. But sometimes the work is working, but sometimes it's not, and they call themselves concept artists as well.
Yeah.
So in terms of photo bashing, this kind of technique. So how do you see photo bashing in concept, not mapping?
But the photo bashing is a tool to kind of produce something very quickly, to suggest realism.
Yeah, Jian mentioned the same thing. He said it's everything to work for the efficiency. So
yeah, that's correct. But to make something completely realistic, you have to fine tune a lot of things.
Yeah.
And often there's no time when you're doing concepts.
Yep.
So you have to know how to work with photos.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to kind of understand the painting and shapes and light to kind of blend things together. So it becomes a new image.
Sure.
And this balancing act of various photo elements, you kind of need to make it either it's realistic as a photo, or is it more impressionistic as a painting? And somewhere in between, you can balance these things.
Okay.
To make an overall kind of image that is consistent and works.
So it's really important to find that kind of balance, of using photo and how much you paint.
Yeah, because you have, let's say you're out searching for Google Images.
Yes.
And all the reference you find that you want to use in your photo bash has very different resolutions.
Okay.
Yeah. So
map painters pay lots of attention on the resolution. They have to be matched perfectly.
That's right. Yeah. And you have to kind of balance these things. Even as a concept artist, if you photo bash something together out of perspective and think it will stand out.
Yep.
Because even if the client is not an expert in visual languages, they will tell that something is not right.
Okay.
So you still have to provide a kind of balanced image, even if you used photos.
Okay. Yeah, so they mentioned like Jen told me, for example, he's not the guy like using photos, but he do use photos for production work. And he mentioned there's one point looks pretty reasonable to me. For some major information, it's better to draw, to paint, to express your own idea. For some like side information, you can, for save time, you can definitely use photos rather than, for lots of major informations, use photos instead of you paint. Sometimes it's because, for instance, you use some Chinese culture thing and you use this for the movie, and another guy uses it for another movie, and maybe the output in the movie is exactly the same, but it's two different concept artists, two different projects, but they just share something very similar elements in the photo.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a common problem thing in the film industry, as you see? Because I see lots of concept artists for film, they use a lot of photos.
Yeah. The another reason why photo bashing is used, because it is easier to communicate with a client who is not visually understanding.
Okay.
If you produce an artwork that is impressionistic or loose, and you show it to the client, and you're like, here is my great idea about this shot or whatever it is.
Okay.
It can happen that the client doesn't understand how it will look in the final image, like on the frame.
Okay.
They cannot take the next visual step in terms of visualizing it in front of them as a final, like on the movie screen result.
Yeah.
More creative people work with visuals directly, can understand this.
Okay.
That the concept is purely communicating an idea,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's all about this. It's not really so much about the rendering.
Okay.
But it's harder for someone, like if you talk to a producer and show an image, like, oh, this is a nice sketch, but I don't understand how this is going to be final movie.
Okay, so sometimes you see the purpose they use the photos. They just want to, better transfer their information to the client
Yes,
or director.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you have an artist who can blend these things, like a good idea, a good level of realism in the image, so it feels realistic,
Mm-hmm.
and it's easier for them to interpret this for the final result,
Mm-hmm.
then you have a very skilled and very, very good concept artist
Okay.
who can take all the information and understand the delivery levels or delivery quality
Mm-hmm.
and produce a few images.
So I would say the criteria for you, for example, you hire a concept artist, you just, to tell if this guy has the ability to convey information very clearly and efficient.
Yeah.
It's not only how high level you can render.
Yeah, that's correct. When we worked on a few years ago, when I worked at Pinewood, I did a freelance job, and the concepts were more about doing concepts for practical stuff that they would build for the set.
Mm-hmm.
These visual images were not about presenting to higher clients. These were more practical concepts.
Okay.
So they were not really, the flashy, cool-looking concept art. It was more concepts for a design of a vehicle.
Okay.
So that part of the concept art is also very important because you're communicating an idea that needs to be built or needs to be somehow constructed.
Okay.
Like the more presentational stuff is more about context and more promotion.
Okay.
And introducing new ideas and new things, and also kind of impressing the client, because you can make a really nice image, then it's easier to sell.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So I saw your credit on IMDb work on the most new Alien.
Yeah, that was the recent one we finished at MPC. Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of part are you working on for that movie?
I was a lead on the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I had a team who did a lot of the environments on the movies.
Nice.
On the movie, and now my role was to kind of artistically, technically, and in terms of management, help the show and help the artists.
Yeah, I know. In terms of your level guy, you basically just to make sure that your members, work on the right direction. Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw your credits amazing. The Room, the movie. Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a very artistic. It won a reward something, right? That year.
Might have been. I haven't really checked.
Yeah, I remember. It's really high points on IMDb. Yeah, I love that movie. It's very artistic way to telling the story.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think this is today. And thank you so much, Levi, for participating in our talk.
Thank you for having me.
If there are any any final questions, or whatever you want? Yeah. So what is most curious about, say, China, or in the gaming industry or film industry, or what is, or we say it another way, it's like, what is the future picture you want to see in the next level movie industry, whatever? Yeah, because you are the big guy in the movie industry, and what do you expect to see in the future? Maybe the filmmakers can. I don't expect the watch my talk. At least we can understand. What do you think? What do you expect?
It's, to put it simply, I would just like to see something that is unique and new.
Yeah. Okay. In terms of what?
In terms of any kind of design, really. I'm both feature, like animated feature, like cartoons, but also feature films.
Yeah.
Something that I explores new visuals or new ideas, new kind of something we haven't seen before.
Wow.
That's really
okay. It's really hard.
I know.
Any new stories or technology is already being taken, so it's
Yeah. So of course it's going to be very challenging to produce something that feels that much fresh.
Okay.
But the thing that will still maintain throughout, since movie cinema, is to at its core tell a good story.
Good story. Okay.
Yeah, that still has to work, but the whole world and the whole kind of everything around it can be like completely new.
To you, okay. Wow,
Yeah.
that is a lot of possibility.
Yeah.
So you don't really, for example, pay much attention if you try this something very different or very unique, but it's very possible to fail. It's not very successful, very output, but you still feel like if you dare to try something new, I'm gonna spot you.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a big budget. It has, it doesn't really matter. It's just something that kind of you watch something and you positively experience what you're seeing, and you will want to watch it again and kind of like, oh, this is really amazing.
Sure.
I'm kind of waiting for that experience again. I think last.
Yeah. What's the last one? What's the last one for you?
Matrix.
Matrix. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
At the time when that came out, I don't think people have seen. The only similarities to Matrix was a lot of anime, a lot of Japanese cartoons. We had very kind of similarities, but we haven't seen it in a full feature production in that scale before to a wider audience.
Okay.
That was probably the last time.
Wow, it's a while ago.
It is a while ago, yeah.
Okay. Sure, yeah. I want to ask Jian the same question. 杜建兄
OK，
问你同样的问题，你对我刚才问那个我问 Levi 说你对之后电影有任何叫什么新的期待？有任何可期待的东西？他觉得在有一个很好的故事的前提下，你任何敢于尝试新鲜东西或者不同手法，在各个方面的电影，他觉得都挺值得一看的。 他讲的其实挺宽泛，他没有特指去说，比如说有一个很新颖的设计，或者有新颖的其他东西，他没有举例，但是说就是说，你如果在电影的某个方面做到了与众不同，他觉得确实是一个，就是在电影行业中吧，就是下一个台阶儿，电影制作人员可以考虑的一些东西，不要太中规中矩，可能这个。然后他说，就是上一个他觉得有这种感觉的电影，就是《黑客帝国》Matrix。
也是很久以前了，很久以前。
可想而知，他觉得从那个时候到现在，在电影行业里面，虽然有很多大片出现，但是可能他没有让他觉得特别眼前一亮的东西。所以同样问题问你，你对以后电影行业来说，你特别想看到如何使你觉得很满意，或者说，在电影行业的下一个阶段，大家该追求一些什么东西？在有一个好故事，而且现在有这么发达的一些后期特效去做辅助的一个前提下，你希望看到一些怎么样的突破？
我觉得最美好的愿景还是希望能够看到更多的好故事吧，就是说能够真的就是打动你的、直击你内心的一个好的故事。我觉得电影这种艺术形式，我觉得它会，会跟之前的那些艺术形式就是一样，就是会一直的发展下去啊。我不敢预测未来的一个电影的一个走向会是一个什么样子，因为现在这个多媒体这个技术日新月异。你比方说现在这个 VR 是吧？我知道如果说对啊
VR，
如果说 VR 这个东西，如果这种体验能够加入到电影里面去，我不知道会是一个什么样的概念。我知道有的这种新锐的这种导演啊，就是已经开始去做这样的尝试啊，我是比较很期待。当然是像《黑客帝国》那样的好故事，不知道什么时候还会再出现。当然，《黑客帝国》这种东西应该也是更多的借鉴了一些，比如说一些日本的动画片啊，是吧？那个对，是还是很有想象力的那些东西。我觉得从好的一些文学作品里面来吸收吧。我觉得现在很多这种经典的能够称之为经典的这些电影，其实都是从一些优秀的文学作品，包括一些小说啊，像菲利普·迪克呀，是吧？斯蒂芬金啊，这些人的一些这些小说里面去提取一些营养，然后转换成一个可视的，是吧？一个有声音的、有画面的这样一个，可以能给我们提供更多想象的这样一个视觉的这样一个冲击的这样的一个作品。所以我觉得这些
编剧们要加把劲儿了。
对，是我比较期待的。而且就是说，在这个特效领域上，我是觉得就是怎么样从一些新的角度出发，然后去更好的为这个故事服务。比方说像这个 VR 技术，如果说可以应用在某些电影的片段里面，是吧？能够让就是当然这个我 VR 这个东西可能不能全部的实现，就是说整部电影都是在 VR 这种环境里面看。可以，我觉得可以在有些片段里面，观众可以是一个有一个真正的一个临场感的一个东西。然后我们做这个特效的话，可能就会变成360度的那种东西。我挺期待的。
VR 是确实挺有挑战性，因为你要放弃一些，比如说
固有的我们现在一些构图，对吧？
构图呀，然后它拍摄手法，你需要适当的去放弃那些，给更多自由，就是说，
甚至讲故事的方式啊。
对。OK， 那我们今天就到这儿，非常感谢苏建兄来我们节目做客。Thank you, Levi, so much.
谢谢。
Thank you.
Yeah, so.
It's good to see you.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, have a good one.
Bye.
Next time, hopefully, we can meet someday over there.
Yeah, never know.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Have
Bye.
Bye, Jan.